This video is about my dealings with social services. I previously lived in Tunbridge Wells and I now live in Brighton, so I will talk about both. I moved into my first flat in Tunbridge Wells in 2000. I had a social worker assigned to me and they got to know my needs very well. Whenever I had a problem, I could email them and they got back to me in a timely manner. They put in place the care agencies. I had a few problems with the care agencies, and my social worker helped me to communicate with them. In Tunbridge Wells, my social worker knew what was going on with me and my care package. When I had a problem, they were quick to respond, which is how it should be. Every 6 months, someone from the direct payments team came to my flat to check my accounts. When I moved to Brighton, I was shocked because they operated under a completely different system. Brighton social services do not assign people social workers. When people have a problem, they phone or email access point, which is like the main information hub. They put them through to the appropriate department. When I first moved to Brighton, the council wanted me to pay my staff less. I did not want this to happen because most of my staff had been working with me a while, and now I was moving further away from where they lived. I spent a month emailing back and forth. In the end, they agreed I could pay my staff a bit higher than what I did in Tunbridge Wells. I approached them nicely, but I was firm with them. I told 2 of my personal assistants what was happening. I was worrying and thinking I just could not pay my staff less. I was really worrying about what I was going to do if they said no. But fortunately everything was okay. I have been extremely independent in terms of managing staff. I only see a social worker when they wanted to do a review. In each review, I always brought up a pay increase for my staff. More often than not, they deny my request. In 2022, I needed to recruit more staff and I was having so many problems. I contacted social services and said I had been trying to recruit for months. Also, my existing staff are thinking about leaving because they did not have a pay rise for years, but the cost of living had increased. I wanted social services to increase the staff wages and help me to recruit. A social worker came to visit me and I put a case together to increase the wages. The social worker managed to agree for social services to increase my staff's wages. As far as helping me to recruit, I was put in touch with an organization which helps people with their direct payments and advertising. Even though they were advertising for me, I was not getting any prospective staff. This went on for about a year. I was advertising me for ages with very little success. After a year of advertising everywhere I thought of, I successfully recruited. I have been reluctant to join a care agency throughout the years, but after the pandemic, things got so difficult, I joined one. They work with me every Monday and every other Friday, and they provide me with cover if I cannot cover a shift. They have been very good, much better than the agencies I had in the past. I would say my dealings with Brighton and Hove social services have been much more challenging than when I was living in Tunbridge Wells. I think it is because I do not see the same social worker. The social workers cannot form a professional relationship with me like they did in Tunbridge Wells. I know budgets have been cut, but the government and social services still have a duty of care towards me and other people with disabilities. My message for you to take away is this. Whenever people deal with social services, firstly, they should know what they want and are entitled to. Secondly, they need to have confidence and assertiveness when talking to social workers. Social services are always trying to cut budgets, but the needs of peoples are vital and social services have an obligation to meet them.